Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of the ages, welcome back to another reaction. Trying something a little different here. We got no camera here kicking today. We're just going to go ahead in to the reaction. So today we have Marvel just humiliated itself again with the new Fantastic Four and all the reshoots. Let's check it out and see what is going on with it.
Here we are again. Another day, another Marvel disaster, another PR cleanup operation trying to duct tape together the remains of what used to be the most powerful franchise on Earth. Marvel Studios, yes, that Marvel Studios, the studio that once made audiences cheer when a talking raccoon held hands with a tree, is now in full-blown crisis mode. And this time, the train wreck has a name. It's called Fantastic Four. First steps. And based on everything we're seeing, it might just be Marvel's final step before the whole thing collapses into a burning pile of reshoots, VFX crunch, and fan apathy. Let's just pause for a moment. Let's remember what this movie was supposed to be. This wasn't just another superhero flick, this was supposed to be the comeback, the resurrection, the chosen one that would save Marvel from its own self-inflicted downward spiral. Kevin Feige and the suits at Disney were practically foaming at the mouth when they announced this one. The first family is coming home, they said. This is the next big chapter, they promised. Except the only thing this movie is saving right now is face. Because the situation behind the scenes, it's an absolute mess. It's a whirlwind of script rewrites, character changes, timeline confusion, and last-minute reshoots so frantic they make Zack Snyder's Justice League look like a fully scheduled semester at Harvard. Let's start with the most glaring, most ridiculous part of the disaster, the reshoots. Reshoots are happening right now, in May, for a movie that is allegedly scheduled for release in just 2 months.
Wow. That was a mouthful right there. That was a lot going on right there. Reshoots. Got 2 months left for this movie to come out, and then they're doing reshoots. Wow.
That's 8 weeks, folks. 56 days, and they're still filming, still rewriting, still running around set trying to shoot extra scenes that weren't even in the original cut. Let that sink in. Do you have any idea what that means? Do you know how broken your pipeline has to be for that to happen? This isn't a last-minute cameo or a small line pickup. No, this is full costume, full prosthetics, CGI-heavy sequences with new characters shot under a ticking clock. And you expect people to believe this is all part of the plan? Give me a break. You know what this is. You've seen it before. We all have. It's the same song and dance Marvel has been performing ever since Endgame rolled the credits. When the old guard left, the house started crumbling. And rather than build something new, something strong, something meaningful, they decided to just keep painting over the cracks with reshoots and multiverse garbage and weird cameos no one asked for. And now it's Fantastic Four's turn. This movie was already walking on shaky ground. First, there was the casting drama. Adam Driver said no, Margot Robbie passed, Mila Kunis rumors flew, Antonio Banderas was rumored to be Galactus, then wasn't. Then we heard he might be again. And then came the real kicker. Julia Garner cast as a gender-swapped Silver Surfer. Shalabal, they said. A fresh take.
I honestly think that, the movies went to shite after Endgame. You're right. After Endgame, it was just like they didn't know what else to do with the thing. They built it up so much to the Endgame that after that it's just like, what do we do now? And now they're throwing this all together with the Eternals and Thunderbolts and all that stuff. Sentry might be the biggest thing that's going on right now for Marvel. So hopefully they can do that right. There's still a lot of the movies that I haven't seen yet.
Take, they said. A new vision for a modern audience. You know what that is? That's marketing speak for panic. That's Hollywood code for we're running out of ideas, so we're changing things just to get attention. And now we've got her on set in costume during reshoots, which tells you 2 things. This entire subplot was likely not part of the original script. They're still figuring out what the hell this movie even is. Is Silver Surfer a main character? A glorified cameo? A setup for Galactus? Nobody knows, not the fans, not the actors, maybe not even the director, but sure, let's just cram her in at the last second and hope it makes sense in post. And let's talk about that. Post-production. Visual effects, CGI, the bread and butter of this franchise. The thing that used to make Marvel marvelous. Remember when people used to praise how Iron Man's suit looked real? when Thanos' facial expressions look better than half the real actors in Oscar-winning films? Yeah, those days are gone.
How's it going?
Those
What we're
days,
seeing now
those days are gone, people. Those days are completely gone. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know where we're going. I mean, the movie isn't out yet. I mean, I don't like how people just always judge movies before they come out. I mean, yeah, you could see from the trailer that it might be this or it might be that. But give it a chance, I guess.
is a studio that has burned out its artists, driven its VFX houses into the ground, and created a pipeline so chaotic that it's impossible to deliver quality visuals on time. Reshooting key scenes just weeks before your deadline? That's a death sentence for your VFX schedule. It guarantees rushed animation, half-baked compositing, rubber people flopping around in cartoon landscapes, and let's not pretend Marvel hasn't earned this. They've been cutting corners for years. Fix it in post is practically their mission statement now. How many movies have come out with blurry backgrounds, floating heads, or composited faces that look like they were done on a Nintendo 64? Remember Quantumania?
Not the Nintendo 64. Dang, why are you hating on a Nintendo 64? That was one of the great consoles right there. All right, but we're talking about cutscenes on a Nintendo 64. All right.
The worst reviewed MCU movie in history? Remember how Kang was supposed to be the big bad of the multiverse saga, and that movie made him look like a Power Rangers villain crossed with a TED Talk host? And that was shot on time. Imagine how bad Fantastic Four's visuals are going to be when they're still filming in May. But don't worry, Marvel says. It's all fine. Reshoots are normal. This is totally part of the plan. Yeah, and Ezra Miller is totally still getting a Flash sequel, right? The sad part is, this didn't have to happen. The Fantastic Four are some of the most iconic characters in comic book history. Reed Richards is a brilliant mind. Sue Storm is layered and powerful. Ben Grimm is tragic and noble. Johnny Storm is reckless but fun. The potential here is massive. This should be easy. This should be Marvel's golden ticket. Instead, they've turned it into a Frankenstein movie stitched together with panic, politics, and poorly written cameos. And it's not just this one film. Let's zoom out. Thunderbolts? Being rebranded as the new Avengers because the original plot was so bland that test audiences fell asleep. I'm not joking, that's a thing. That movie was DOA, and they're now desperately trying to slap Avengers branding on it like a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Captain America, Brave New World? That's not a film, that's a cautionary tale. It went through multiple rewrites, massive reshoots, and last-minute creative changes.
I saw that movie in the theaters. We went and seen it. I thought it was pretty good, but I really thought it was missing a lot. There was a lot missing with that movie. It just didn't have an authentic feel to it. It was a good movie, but it just lacked a real I'm into this feel to it. It was just like, yeah, it was another Marvel movie. It was all right. It was okay. But the movies from before, you would really feel like they were authentic. You know, but now it's just like they're just like these are all fillers. Like they don't know what's going on. That's just my opinion.
And the result? A box office failure so bad it actually made people miss the old Cap. Even Secret Invasion, a show that should have been Marvel's Winter Soldier-style spy thriller masterpiece, turned into a boring, ugly mess. The big twist was literally, we gave random people superpowers because we didn't know what else to do. This is a studio that used to play chess. Now they're just rolling dice. So here's the question. Can the Fantastic Four save the MCU? And here's the answer. Not like this. Not with rushed scenes, not with reactionary casting, not with VFX artists crunching their bones into dust, not with a studio that doesn't know what it wants, doesn't respect the source material, and doesn't care.
Yeah, the thing doesn't. He doesn't look right. You can tell. Yeah, I don't know. They might have some reshoots and edit it. I mean, it's still not done, so we'll see what goes on with that.
Care about the fans anymore. Just the next quarterly earnings call. Marvel's trying to turn this ship around by patching the hull with duct tape, glitter, and nostalgia bait. But at some point, even the diehard fans are going to look at this thing and say, nah, I'm done. And that point might be now. Because what we're seeing behind the scenes of Fantastic Four isn't confidence, it's fear. It's a studio rattled, unsure, desperate, and no amount of CGI, multiverse cameos, or diversity quota checkboxing is going to fix that. So, what's next? Does this movie actually release on time? Do they delay it for polishing like they did with Blade 3 times? Do they dump it on Disney Plus with no fanfare and pretend it was meant to be a bold streaming experiment? Or do they just let it crash and burn at the box office and move on to the next mess?
Crash and burn at the box office option. Yeah, it may not. It may. We don't know. Let's not jump to the conclusions. I mean, I could understand his gripe about all the other movies. I haven't seen a lot of them. I still haven't seen the WandaVision. I haven't watched a lot of the Marvel stuff because it just wasn't appealing. Like Phase 1 or whatever they call it, that you didn't want to miss anything. I mean, shoot, I still haven't seen Captain Marvel. Still haven't seen it because just the stuff they put behind it. All the things that were said about it, and it was just like, and then the Brie lady comes out and acts all weird, and it seems like they're falling apart with their whole thing. And then they have the Snow White thing, and then the controversy behind the girl who played Snow White, and it seems like when they have these, it doesn't work out. It doesn't really work out. People are just, but I don't understand how they keep doing this. It's a failed model. Stop doing that. And, put out good movies.
We'll find out soon enough. But one thing's for sure. This is no longer Marvel's world. It's a world of declining trust, broken hype, empty promises, and a fandom slowly realizing the magic is gone. Let me know what you think in the comments.
So, is this, so they have this going on. Marvel has their stuff going on, and then DC has their Superman thing going on right now. So, and everybody's pissed about the new Superman because they're like, the dog, and this is a weak Superman and all that stuff. But they don't understand that James Gunn is trying to keep it comic book accurate. A lot of things that a lot of people failed because they wanted to try to modernize Superman and make Superman feel so relatable. But you can do that and still have the comic book accuracy in there. And I think that's what he's trying to go for. But I don't know anything about this Fantastic Four, what's going on with this. We're just going to have to sit back and see. We're just going to have to see. Well, that's all I got for this one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of the ages. Until next time, ciao.